It's Friday evening. On So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to CBTV this Friday evening. We've got a bit of Kids Club. We've got fabulous cabaret from Mr. James Loughlin. But more importantly, with a little bit of an update, here's Mr. Thomas Scarrett.
Hey,
Hello.
how's it going?
All right, good.
Yeah, I heard a really good joke today. I'd love to share it with you. Is that okay?
If it's the one you've told me, you need to change the ending slightly, Thomas.
Yeah, I've when the intro music was playing, then I've just been going through it in my head again, just to work out how I can change parts of it to make it acceptable and also politically correct.
Okay, interesting.
Okay. So this is a joke about a guy who's traveling from place to place and he needs somewhere to stay overnight. So he comes across this farm and he knocks on the door and he says, look, he said, I hope you can help me. He said, but I desperately just need somewhere to stay overnight. I've been on my feet all day. There's nowhere to stay. Can you help me? And the farmer said, you know what? He said, you're a son of God. We're all here together. I'm going to give you somewhere to stay. He said, well, look, he said, I don't mind where I stay. You've got this nice farm. I'll sleep in the barn. He said, I'll even do some work for you. And the farmer says, no need to do that. It's fine. Come in the house, have a meal, and just make yourself at home. So he did. And the next morning, the guy woke up and he couldn't thank the farmer enough. And the farmer said, no problem at all. It was a pleasure to help out. He said, well, look, he said, I've got to do something to repay the favour. He said, no, there's absolutely no need. And the guy said, well, look, he said, I have got a bit of a secret power. He said, I'm a little bit like Dr. Dolittle. I can talk to the animals. And the farmer's thinking, oh, God, I've got a right nutter here. He reckons he can talk to the animals. So he said, yeah, all right, if you want to go and talk to the animals, you crack on. So he comes back half an hour later. And he said, I've had a chat with the animals. And the farmer said, oh, yeah. He said, yeah. He said, I spoke to the horses first. And he said, the horses reckon you've changed the bit in the mouth. You know, we have the bit in the mouth, Jem?
Yeah.
And the farmer went, yeah. He said, yeah, I have changed it. He said, well, am I right in saying, he said, that the bit in the mouth before used to be like a semicircle. Now you've changed it to a triangular one. And the farmer's shocked because he thought this guy was sort of like spinning a yarn. And he's like, now he realises that the guy actually can talk to the animals. And he said, yeah. He said, that's right. He said, well, look, you need to change it back to what you had in there previously because it's hurting your horses. He said, now I've had a chat with the cows. He said, you've been having trouble with your milking parlour, haven't you? And the farmer was like shocked. He said, yes, I have had trouble with the milking parlour. He said, it's because you've changed the setting on the machine. He said, it's hurting the cows. They've told me that themselves today. He said, you need to change it back to how it was. And the farmer can't believe this. Anyway, he said, look, and finally, I've had a chat with the sheep, and before he could say anything, the farmer went, whoa, he said, they're liars. Don't believe a word they say.
Oh, very good.
He did clean it up. When he told me today, it wasn't that clean.
I can imagine.
It wasn't that clean at all. So look, I thought I'd come on, just give a little bit of a slight update, and also say a couple of thank yous. So, first of all, I want to say thank you to all of the team at Clarick and Vale. Obviously, you two included, because you're both integral parts of that, and also Andy as well, who's off camera. Everybody has worked tremendously hard to get the parks up and running to welcome guests back on the weekend. I know our parks in Cornwall have been open for a week longer, but it's been a monumental effort to get the parks up and ready and running in Wales. So on behalf of the family, thank you very much to all of the team. You've done an absolutely tremendous job, and we'll be forever grateful for what you've done. And also thank you to all of our customers, because you've all come back down. You've all respected and adhered to the guidelines and the new rules that's in place. There's a new regime. We've spoke about it countless occasions on CBTV, and there always was a little bit of nervous apprehension in the back of our minds, thinking, will people follow the rules? Will they abide to the social distancing policies? And I've got to say, so far, everybody's been absolutely spot on. Owners, guests, holidaymakers, everybody who's visited our parks. And I just want to say thank you very much, because it makes our lives a lot easier. It makes everybody's lives a lot safer, and it's great for everybody's on board and we're all sort of singing from the same songbook. So thank you for that. That's great. You would have noticed a few changes across the parks. Nothing major. It's just everything's got to centre around the social distancing. And for those of you at our parks that have clubs on there, you'll see that over the last couple of days, my father and I, we've been putting marquees, gazebos and pagodas up just to sort of extend and cover our beer gardens, because at the moment in Wales, we can only open outdoors, and that's something we've got to strictly adhere to. We can, if we want, open the toilets within our licensed venues, but we've decided at this moment in time not to. We think it's best for everybody if that remains the case. We can, on the 3rd of August, open indoors, and that's what we plan on doing. So we're going to be offering our indoor service from the 3rd of August. The app that we've launched at Claret Bay has gone down really well. I mean, we're delivering everything from a pint of beer to a full-on three-course meal to various caravans and chalets across the park, and we hope to be extending that across to the other parks in the group as well. Claret is a little bit of an anomaly because it has the public coastal path of Wales sort of bordering it, so the toilets on the seafront, the council have said that we can open those from tomorrow, which is good. So providing we can get the final go-ahead and sign-off from the council, we will be opening those tomorrow. So
is that because of the food?
Is that? Sorry. No. Can you turn his mic off or cut his video?
I actually spoke to Joanna today, your lovely wife, and actually said we've had some great compliments on here about the way the app works and the food and everything. I think you come on holiday, and if you're lucky enough to get one of the lodges with a hot tub, how brilliant is that you can just sit in your hot tub, press a button, and someone brings you a pint?
Yeah, this is the great thing, because, like you said, if you're in a lodge and you're fortunate enough to have a hot tub, it's a great luxury to have. If you're not, and you say in a chalet with a bathtub, if you just fart in it a few times, it's the same thing,
Terrible.
Yeah. So we've been asked about entertainment, and the way the rules are in Wales at the moment, we're not allowed to provide any form of entertainment other than background music, which don't get me started on the rules and the political side of things. It is what it is. We are where we are, and we can't do or say anything more than that. So we're just thankful and grateful that we're allowed to open again. And it's great that we can serve food and beer again. And hopefully by the 3rd of August, you will see, hopefully, something that resembles what you would normally see in previous times across the parks. So there we go. Happy to take any questions if anyone's got any questions on YouTube or Facebook.
Paula Greatorex, I hope I'm saying that, Greatorex, just wanted to say that Park Farm is looking lovely. Thank you for all the hard work. And Susan
How
Francis.
do you pronounce that surname?
Greatorex.
How are you spelling it?
Great, and then Orex on the end.
Okay.
Greatorex.
I wonder if it's a silent X.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Ask him. Ask him to type in phonetically how we pronounce your name so we can get it. I don't know. Yeah.
There you go, Paula. I don't think you've already asked her. Well done.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's like when somebody says, "Can I say it on a radio show? Can I say hello to Mum and Dad and Auntie Sue?" And the host goes, "Yeah, you just have. There you go. Well done."
Susan Francis asks, "Would you be keeping the app going after lockdown?"
Yes.
Fabulous. Oh, I'm correct. Greatorex. Jem is correct.
Oh, well done.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But I don't know how many times I pronounce it now, so I don't know which one's actually the correct one that I said. But there you go. No more coming up in a minute. People excited coming down. I've had great comments as well about people saying, we're watching you on our decking. So they're still with us, even though we're at the parks, which is what it's all about, which is brilliant. Question from Claire Westlake. It was great to be back last week. Have you heard when the pool can open at all?
No, we haven't. In England, our parks in England can open their pools. I think it's end of July. But Wales, it's a little. What they've said is you can open holiday parks can open their shared facilities on the 25th of July, 27th of July, but they haven't really given us a definitive list of what constitutes a shared facility. You'd like to think that that includes a swimming pool. What's interesting about the pools is that a lot of the chemicals that are available for killing coronavirus and which claim to kill coronavirus all seem to have one thing in common. And that one thing they have in common is that they're all chlorine-based chemicals, which, to me, as a layperson, suggests that a swimming pool is probably an ideal place to be because you put chlorine in the water. I think where the concern comes in, they're worried about the transmission or the potential for transmission in the changing rooms. That's where the worry is. But then you could argue that, well, you're allowing public toilets to open, you're allowing clubs and pubs to open indoors from the 3rd of August. So I would say that it's not going to be long. It's going to certainly be within the next 3 to 4 weeks maximum. By the middle of August, I would be astonished if swimming pools are not allowed to reopen. They're allowing tattoo parlours, they're allowing gyms to open outdoors, I believe. They're allowing all sorts of other industries and types of attractions to open. So I can only imagine that it won't be long before swimming pools are given go ahead.
It'll only be lanes 1, 3, and 5 though, because of social distancing.
yeah. So something.
Can we get
like
waterproof masks?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't seem like anybody had any questions there. It's so good to be back. Thank you for looking after everything while we were away. That's from Julie Lowell. Loving all the extra seating outside Park Farm Club from Jenny Harrison. So no,
I was at Park Farm the other day. It was nice to see a few familiar faces. That was good. Nice to see familiar faces at Clarick as well. I've been spending a lot of time recently in the club, just getting things ready there. We've got a nice pagoda that's gone out on the patio. Matter of fact, let's see if I can be clever, because I might have a live feed I can show you.
Is this where you keep an eye on them?
It is, yeah.
Thomas, listen to this. Richard Cartwright, okay, is actually sat listening to us outside Morrison's while he's waiting to get back in for a pint. Love it.
Is that Morrison's in Aberystwyth?
Yeah, love it.
Should we just have a little look if we can?
How are you getting on with the traffic in Aberystwyth?
I've not been into town for a few days, so I honestly don't know.
I've got to say, it is a little bit annoying.
Right, I'm going to see if I can be a little bit
if you know
clever.
where you're going.
Let's see if we can do this. You've disabled. Or can you enable sharing, please, Jem? Or can you make me a co-host, please?
There we go.
I'm hoping this is going to work.
Oh, they're not doing anything rude. Oh.
Can you see that?
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
There you go. That's yeah.
Oh, bless. They've shoved them two right up the corner. Nobody's talking to them right up that corner.
No.
Hey, that's great, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I've got a question come through.
Okay.
We've got a question from Claire Westlake. Sorry, is mask wearing compulsory in Wales like it is in England?
No, I don't think it's compulsory in England at the moment. I think it's guidance and being suggested, but no, it's not. And do you know what? I've not seen that many people wearing masks at all across any of the parks. I mean, it's an individual thing, isn't it? It's a personal choice.
I went shopping yesterday, and I thought I'll put my mask on just to get used, because from the 24th, I think, in July, in England, it's compulsory to wear them in shops. So I thought I'll put a mask on just to see, like, get used to it. There was only me wearing a mask. There was nobody else in the shop wearing a mask.
Yeah, it's. I'm just trying to see if there's another good.
You're supposed to
camo.
wear it on public transport. It's supposed to be compulsory on public transport, but we saw a bus today, and there's people on the bus with no mask on.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, look, it's. I think that's a complete change in culture, isn't it? I think if you look at Asia, when they had the SARS outbreak in 2002, that changed everybody's outlook in that part of the world. And you've seen it yourself. You often see, especially in big towns, if you go to London before this, like, go back a year, you generally see a lot of Asian people, especially from the Far East, wearing masks in big cities. And I think that stems from what happened in 2002 with the SARS outbreak, and it's become ingrained as part of their culture and the way of life. And I think it will happen here, but I think it's going to take a while for people to feel as comfortable wearing a mask as they do, say, wearing a coat or a pair of gloves. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those things.
Well, Anne-Marie's just said that apparently as of the 27th of July in Wales, it's compulsory on public transport. That's
on public transport. Yeah, which, I mean, if I was going on public transport, I'd probably wear a mask. I'd probably choose a mask with a filter in or something, just to be extra safe.
I've actually heard that you've been eyeing up the masks I've been making.
Yeah, you've made some nice masks, some very nice masks. Yeah.
Another question from Becky Smith. If you're from Glannymore, can we still come over into the beer garden?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment we're not sort of checking passes or anything like that. As I'm sure you can appreciate, when the club does open indoors, we're going to have to sort of restrict it for our own guests, purely because of the social distancing aspect and the fact that we're probably going to have to take out tables and chairs and whatnot. But certainly for the time being, anybody's welcome to venture over and find a seat on the patio or beer garden and join us for a drink or a bite to eat.
They have to wear a badge. They have to say, I'm from Glannymore.
No. No, got no other questions coming in. Everybody seems very happy. Colin Whittle's literally just put on, I used the app to have a curry delivered from my club to my van at Clarick. It was excellent.
Oh, I'm glad about that. That's good. I'm going to see if I can find to show you what the staff are wearing. I've got another live camera feed here. I'm just going to see if I can bring it up.
You like MI5, Thomas? You like MI5 there?
Yeah, I don't know about that, but let's have a look. No, they keep moving. I've got, because what's happening? The kitchen staff and that are wearing the visors, and obviously they got all the PPE on, which is good. And I think it gives people that assurance, isn't it? That reassurance and the confidence that we're doing everything we can to protect ourselves and to protect them. So there we go. Yeah.
How does she get on there? You know, the young girl that works in the kitchen with the one with the dripping nose. How does she manage with a mask on?
You know, they've given her a thing that goes underneath and it just collects at the bottom by her chin. You're vile.
It's absolutely terrible, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I always said I wouldn't say it if it was if it was true.
So right, yeah.
Lynn and Jane have just said we're just happy to be back.
Yeah, I think most people are.
Yeah.
It's good to see everybody. It's good to.
And it's nice as well because obviously, I mean, I've 10 years been here now, and you think you know everybody, and you don't, and then names come up on here, and you don't recognise the names. And I was driving down to reception today, and from across the car park, someone started waving and went, "Hey, it's Puggy Ellis," because she uses a different name on Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, of course.
So it's nice putting some of the names to faces as well when you've got your different names.
Yeah. Right, so yeah, there you go.
Oh, one more question's just come in from Valentino Baresti. Are the buses running at Claret Bay? Do we know yet?
I've not seen them. So I would imagine not at this moment in time, but I would have thought that they'll be back up and running in time for the summer holidays, which isn't too far away.
And Sandra Bruff says, hi, everybody waving from Green Meadow. Hello.
Yeah.
We have to do this every night now, don't we?
We'll have to wave at Sandra every night.
Yeah.
Right there. Hello, love. You all right?
Yeah.
Probably got binoculars out now, actually, watching, seeing if I am waving for real. I am, honestly.
Yeah, so I'm going to go and that's what I'm going to do tonight.
You're going to go and have your tea, aren't you?
No, I've had my tea.
You've had your tea.
Yeah.
I was going to do a royal family. That what you have?
We have this Gusto delivered to us once a week.
Yeah.
Gusto?
Yeah. Have you not come across Gusto? Really?
Is it on the app?
It is. Well, you can use an app. So basically, what Gusto is, it's an online delivery service. So you select how many people you want to feed. You look on their website, you select the recipes, and they send you all of the fresh ingredients each week in a cool box, and
a recipe and how to cook it.
There's a step-by-step guide. Wait there, I will show you now. Hang on.
Like I said, does it look like
yourselves?
We had one of these. We had this as a Christmas present the one year from Jude in reception.
Gusto.
It was really nice. Yeah. So just basically, it's a meal, but it's an uncooked meal. You get sent in a box, and then you just cook the meal. So it's very clever.
Does he look like the picture?
After we cooked it, no. Well, a couple more questions have come in.
Okay.
Right, so
was answered one.
So you get this is your little folder you get, and in there you've got your recipes. So
okay.
So right.
So
they send you the step by step.
Yeah.
So what's really good about it is, I mean, the recipes. A lot of it is influenced by sort of Asian cuisine and fusion and flavours. So there's a lot of curry-based dishes in there.
Yeah.
They change the menu every so often. What's really good about it is if you say select you're feeding 2 persons, right? They will send you the exact quantity of ingredients you need for that recipe. So there's no wastage. So if the recipe requires 1 egg, you'll literally get 1 egg. You know, everything is weighed. You've got to cook it all yourself. So you've got to sort of, if you're making a curry, you've got to make the curry paste, but it'll send you the exact quantity already weighed, and there's absolutely no wastage with it. It's really good.
Like not for you, but I suppose for some people, it would be a good way of learning how to cook.
It's great, honestly, and it's it's certainly. I mean, me and Joanna enjoy cooking, but we've learned so much from doing this. I mean, let's have a. I'll give you an example. So, this is a Chinese cashew chicken and basmati rice. So, you get 2 cloves of garlic, 3 spring onions, 4 tablespoons of corn flour. You've got the rice, a hoisin sauce, fresh ginger, a carrot, toasted sesame oil, and 320 grams of British chicken thighs. And that's the dish there.
Looks nice.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Honestly, they're really, really nice dishes. Yeah, I recommend it. And if you go online and sign up, I think your first month is like you get a 50% discount, and it only costs something like about £2.50 per person per meal.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's really good. Well, we've had one more question come in just before you go.
Yeah.
From Becky Smith. Do you think the clubhouse will be open for entertainment for the kids mid-August?
I doubt it, and the reason I doubt it is because of the social distancing. That's I think that's the what I've heard with my contacts behind the scenes, sort of in those in the sort of corridors of power, is that if they had their choice and their way, we wouldn't be open. It's only the fact that the industry was on the verge of collapsing, the tourism industry I'm talking about, but they had to do something. So it's been reluctantly reopened, which is why there are so many restrictions in place. And I suppose and this is just me thinking out loud and just sort of best guessing what I think will happen. If when the children return to school in September, and we've got a basis on Wales because we're under Welsh law, if there's going to be strict social distancing for children returning in schools in Wales, I would imagine that we will have to have social distancing in place when we open the clubs in August. So at the moment, I can't envisage a scenario where, under normal circumstances in August, you would have a dance floor packed with kids shoulder to shoulder playing musical bumps or musical corners. I just can't see that happening. So if they turn around and say you can do something, but it's going to have to be at a social distance, then I would imagine that we'll try and rely on the good weather, and we'll try and do something outside. But it's a bridge we'll have to cross if and when we get to it.
Yeah, I mean, they're holding back so much on entertainment anyway, aren't they? So.
All right, then, listen, I'm going to shoot off. Good to see you.
Thank you very much.
See you soon.
See you, Tom.
Enjoy your gusto. Good night a bit.
Ta-da.
Well, we're not going to have time for our kids' quiz tonight, but we'll do one party dance before we go on to our other quiz, because obviously we've got our cabaret coming on a little bit later. I just want to double check. If you can just put in your chats for me, is the... do you think the arcades will open on the 8th of August? I'm sorry, it's gone now, Helen. Sorry about that. Your message has only just come through. Don't know. It's really hard to try and guess if things are going to be open, because it can literally change on a dime, can't it? It's so fast how things change. So at the moment, can't answer that one. Sorry, Helen. Yeah, if you could just put into the chat if the stream is okay, because we're not sure if we've had any problems with the stream. So if it's all good, otherwise we might have to restart before we get our cabaret on for this evening. So just let me know in the chat how everything sounds. I know Thomas was a bit jumpy, but I think that was his internet.
Have you got the address where they can get the app from, Jim?
Yes, I should type it in now.
Because what's it? Alan Godfrey's just said we've just arrived. Can you give us the? He's put the URL.
Yes, but he's also put just underneath it, don't worry, found it in the welcome pack.
Oh, is it? Okay. Oh, well, there you go. Oh, don't worry about it then. No, if it's in the welcome, that's it. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
If I scroll down, you're right. Yeah, sorry.
We do have people who keep saying that it keeps freezing. So I'm just having a quick word with tell them a joke here, and we'll have a quick chat with.
Are they, the people that keeps freezing, are they the people at Claddock? Because it might be that we've got like problems with the internet at Claddock, haven't we?
No, I've got Claire, because I know Claire's at home. Claire Howells is at home. She's freezing. Yeah. Becky Smith said it good. Courtney before I asked anybody else's live stream freezing. Suzanne Nixon freezing. It's okay with some frozen a couple of times. All good.
Yeah, you're fine. You haven't froze what I've been watching.
I'm going to... Producer Andy, do you want to restart, or are we good to go? So are the majority saying it's okay?
Don't you compromise my James.
We're going to do a restart.
Okay.
Okay, so stay where you are. We'll be back with you in about 3 minutes' time. And we'll go straight into our adults quiz. No, we'll do one party dance for the kids, because obviously they've come on for that. So we'll do a party dance for the kids. Then we'll do our little adult quiz before we get our James Franklin on. See you in a moment. Bye. Bye.